Do you want to know 101 surprising facts? Get ready to discover fascinating facts about the world with Sarpedo. Let's get started. Andorra, a small principality in the Pyrenees between France and Spain, has a 100% literacy rate, meaning all of its citizens are literate. Nintendo initially began as a modest playing card company in 1889, founded by Fusajiro Yamauchi in Kyoto, Japan. In its early years, it specialized in the production of Hanafuda cards used in traditional Japanese card games. In 1963, under the leadership of Hiroshi Yamauchi, the founder's grandson, Nintendo began to diversify its business. It was in the 1970s that Nintendo took its first big step into the world of video games with the creation of the color TV game arcade console. The oldest stock market in the world still in operation is the Amsterdam Stock Exchange, founded in 1602 by the Dutch East India Company. It was the first to offer company shares to investors. The National Spelling Bee in the United States, popularly known as the Spelling Bee, has evolved into a marquee event that captures the attention of viewers across the country. Some countries, such as Costa Rica, have adopted a unique policy by abolishing their active military and devoting those resources and energies to other priority areas such as education, health, and social development, a historic decision made in 1948. Wolfia globosa, also known as duckweed, is truly remarkable for being the smallest known plant in the natural world, ranging in size from a tiny 0.5 to 1.2 millimeters. The Hernando Siles Stadium in La Paz, Bolivia, is the highest altitude stadium in the world, located at some 12,000 feet above sea level. Siberian Huskies have a fascinating history that dates back to their breeding by the Chukchi tribe in Siberia, where they were bred to endure and thrive in some of the coldest climates in the world. These dogs were essential to the tribe's nomadic life, used primarily as sled dogs to transport cargo and people across vast expanses of frozen and snowy terrain. One of the Siberian Huskies' most notable features is their double coat of fur, specifically designed to deal with extreme weather conditions. Belgium's Rodenbach beer is truly unique in the beer world due to its distinctive brewing process and signature flavor. This traditional Belgian beer is notable for its use of red wheat, which plays a crucial role in the fermentation process and the final flavor profile of the product. The Fugaku supercomputer, located in Japan, is a technological marvel that has set new standards in the field of high-performance computing. With a capacity to perform over 442 petaflops, which equates to over 442 quadrillion operations per second, Fugaku has cemented its position as the world's fastest supercomputer since its launch. Before founding Amazon in 1994, Jeff Bezos had a notable career on Wall Street, where he worked as a senior vice president at D. Shaw & Co., an investment firm renowned for its focus on using algorithms and advanced technology for financial trading. The Louvre Museum is the largest and most visited art museum in the world. Located in Paris, France, it is home to highly famous works such as Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, the Venus de Milo, and the Winged Victory of Samothrace. It is estimated that by 2030, there will be more than 50 billion devices connected to the internet, from household appliances to vehicles and health devices. The Edinburgh Fringe Festival is truly an impressive cultural event that transforms the city every August. Founded in 1947 as an alternative to the Edinburgh International Festival, the Fringe has grown into the world's largest arts festival and an unrivaled celebration of creativity. Central Park, located in the heart of New York City, is larger than the country of Monaco. Spanning 842 acres, this iconic park surpasses the size of the Principality of Monaco, which has an area of approximately 500 acres. Aside from his world records in sprinting, Usain Bolt is a big fan of McDonald's Chicken McNuggets. During the 2008 Beijing Olympics, He was reported to have consumed close to 1,000 McNuggets during his stay at the Olympic Village. The Sydney Harbour Bridge, known locally as the coat hanger, meaning coat hanger due to its shape, is known as visitors can take part in the bridge climb experience, which allows them to climb the bridge's arch and enjoy spectacular panoramic views of the city and its famous harbor. It is also the widest steel arch bridge in the world and the sixth longest. The famous symbol of Wall Street, the bull, represents optimism and rising stock prices. The bull is said to have been adopted as a symbol after the 1987 crash to symbolize the rising market. Its presence in the New York cityscape as a towering bronze sculpture in front of the New York Stock Exchange has made the bull a globally recognized icon. Gardens by the Bay is a spectacular park in Singapore, known for its futuristic gardens and impressive tree-like structures, which are majestically illuminated at night. These structures, called super trees, reach heights of up to 164 feet. Although small, corgis were originally bred to herd livestock, especially cows. Their small size allowed them to dodge the cow's legs while working. The Cu Chi tunnels in Vietnam represent an impressive underground network that played a crucial role during the Vietnam War. They were used by the Viet Cong, i.e. South Vietnam, to move undetected by enemy forces and as a shelter from bombing and attack. Cleopatra was the only pharaoh to learn to speak Egyptian, and she was fluent in several languages, including Greek, Egyptian, Aramaic, and Latin. Unlike many of her Ptolemaic predecessors, who preferred to use Greek as the language of government, Cleopatra made a conscious effort to learn Egyptian, the native language of the country she ruled. Trinity College in Dublin, Ireland, is an iconic academic institution that houses the famous Book of Kells, a medieval illuminated manuscript that represents one of the island's most prized treasures. Created around 800 AD, this book contains the four Gospels of the New Testament, beautifully illustrated with intricate ornamental designs and vibrant colors. The Golden Raspberry Awards, known as the Razzies, are a parody of traditional film awards. They are awarded to the worst films, actors, and directors of the year, highlighting the worst in the film industry. Founded in 1981 by film critic John J.B. Wilson, another peculiarity of the Razzies is their ceremony, which is traditionally held one day before the Oscar ceremony as a sort of comedic counterpoint to the seriousness of the Academy Awards. Quito, known as the city in the middle of the world in Ecuador, is an iconic destination that celebrates the country's unique geography as the place where the equator runs through the earth. This historic and tourist site is located at the geographical center of the world, where visitors can experience the fascinating sensation of being simultaneously in the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere. In 1975, two twins separated at birth, Jim Lewis and Jim Springer, were reunited at the age of 39. They discovered that they were both named Jim, were married to women named Linda, had divorced and remarried women named Betty, and had sons named James Allen and James Allen. The Stelvio Pass Road, located in the Italian Alps, is world famous for being one of the most spectacular and challenging mountain routes in the world. Known for its impressive 48 curves and a relatively short stretch, this road winds through stunning alpine landscapes, reaching an altitude of approximately 9,045 feet above sea level at its highest point. David Bowie made a brief but significant appearance in the comedy film Zoolander, where he played himself as a fashion judge in a scene that became one of the most memorable moments of the film. The scene where Bowie appears as a fashion judge focuses on a competition between the main characters, played by Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson, who play the role of male models. The Yungas Highway, also known as the Road of Death, is a legendary and feared route that winds through the mountains of Bolivia, connecting La Paz to the Yungas region. Its reputation as one of the most dangerous roads in the world is due to several shocking factors. Its extreme narrowness, its sharp curves, and its dizzying drops that plunge into the abyss. In the film Good Will Hunting, Robin Williams demonstrated his exceptional improvisational skills by adding many memorable lines that were not in the original script. His role as therapist Sean Maguire allowed him to deeply explore the character's psychology, and Williams took advantage of that freedom to add personal touches that enriched the performance and the plot. The Prague astronomical clock, installed on the tower of the Old Town Hall in 1410, is considered the oldest continuously operating astronomical clock in the world. This clock not only tells the hours, but also offers a rich display of medieval engineering and art. Every hour on the hour, during the day, a mechanical show is activated depicting the parade of the 12 apostles, accompanied by allegorical figures of death. In 1997, Microsoft invested $150 million in non-preferred stock from Apple to help financially rescue the struggling company. This alliance surprised the tech world given the history of competition between the two companies. The Colosseum is the largest amphitheater ever built, recognized worldwide for its impressive size and historical significance in ancient Rome. In the bustling and fascinating environment of 16th century Venice, aristocratic women wore a distinctive and functional accessory known as the chopin. Chopins were raised platforms that could elevate women's feet as much as 20 inches off the ground or more, depending on the specific design. In a city like Venice, with its narrow streets and frequent flooding, chopins helped women keep their delicate clothing out of the mud and dirty water that often flooded public roads. Comines, located in beautiful British Columbia, Canada, has gained international fame for its stunning artistic murals that adorn the walls of many buildings in the town. Los Angeles is the only city to have had the honor of hosting the Olympic Games twice in the same century, in 1932 and in 1984. The 1932 Los Angeles Olympics marked a significant milestone as they were the first to be profitable, despite the Great Depression gripping the world at the time. And the return of the Olympic Games to Los Angeles in 1984 was equally memorable as records were set in terms of attendance and fundraising. Sweden was the first country in the world to introduce a freedom of the press law in 1766. Theodore Roosevelt was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1906, making him the first American president to achieve this prestigious recognition. The East Side Gallery in Berlin is much more than an open-air art gallery. It is a historical and cultural monument that celebrates freedom and creativity. Situated along a preserved section of the Berlin Wall, this gallery spans 0.8 miles and features over 100 murals painted by artists from around the world. Emma Watson, renowned for her role in film and activism, founded a feminist book club in 2016. Through this club, she not only shares her passion for reading, but also uses her platform to recommend books that address feminist issues and to facilitate meaningful discussions about gender and women's rights. Schönbrunn Palace in Austria has witnessed the history of the Habsburg dynasty and has hosted notable emperors such as Maria Theresa. In addition, this palace features the oldest zoo in the world, the Tiergarten Schönbrunn, founded in 1752 by Emperor Francis I as a private collection of animals. The Seoul Tower, located on Mount Namsan in Seoul, South Korea, is known for its distinctive silhouette and its importance as a cultural and tourist landmark, where visitors can participate in the tradition of love locks. These locks, placed in pairs as a symbol of eternal love, adorn the vicinity of the tower, creating a colorful and romantic landscape. Steve Jobs, known for his meticulous attention to detail, named the Macintosh computer after an Apple variety that was one of his favorites. Inspired by his love for the aesthetic design and functionality of simple, beautiful things, the name also has a deep personal meaning. Jobs chose it as a tribute to his newborn son, who came into the world months before the computer's official launch. The Royal Mile in Edinburgh is much more than a street. It is a historic artery that connects two of the city's most iconic landmarks, the imposing Edinburgh Castle and the majestic Palace of Holyrood House, and is approximately 1 mile long, hence its name. Louis Vuitton, renowned for its iconography and luxury fashion, began its journey as a trunk maker. Innovative from the start, Vuitton distinguished itself by designing flat trunks, a revolutionary innovation at the time, that were highly practical for transport, especially on boat trips, due to their ability to be efficiently stacked. The CN Tower in Toronto, Canada, is an architectural marvel that, with an impressive height of 1,814 feet, was the tallest structure in the world from its opening in 1976 until 2007, and even today remains one of Canada's most iconic attractions. The Doberman, one of the most recognizable dog breeds and appreciated for its loyalty and bravery, was developed by a German tax collector named Carl Friedrich Louis Doberman in the 1890s. Doberman, who was looking for a dog that could accompany and protect him during his nightly rounds as a tax collector, crossed several breeds including the Rottweiler, the German Pinscher, the Greyhound, and the Terrier, with the goal of creating a dog that was not only brave and strong, but also fast and agile. Australia holds the world record for the most venomous animals per square miles, including snakes, spiders, and jellyfish. It has venomous snakes such as the taipan and brown snake, venomous spiders such as the funnel-web spider, and venomous beach jellyfish such as the box jellyfish, whose venom can be extremely painful and even life-threatening. Steampunk is characterized by an eclectic mix of historical and fantasy elements. Steampunk fans often dress in clothing evoking Victorian elegance, such as period jackets, decorated vests, bow ties, and long skirts for women. The Imagine Peace Tower is a striking art installation located on the island of Viðey, just off the coast of Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland. This monument was conceived by Yoko Ono, the celebrated artist and widow of John Lennon, as a tribute to the memory of her husband and a symbol of world peace. The tower was inaugurated on October 9, 2007, coinciding with John Lennon's birthday, and is lit every year from that date until December 8, the anniversary of his death. The most expensive advertisement in history was in 2005, when the cosmetics company L'Oreal paid approximately $10 million for a 30-second advertisement during the broadcast of the Super Bowl. India has 6 seasons instead of the traditional 4 seasons. In addition to summer, fall, winter, and spring, India recognizes the pre-monsoon, which spans the months of March through May, characterized by warm and often dry temperatures before the arrival of the monsoon rains, and the post-monsoon, which runs from October through December, marking the period after the monsoon rains. Jacques Chirac, who was president of France from 1995 to 2007, had a significant relationship with Holocaust memory, especially in the context of France's role during World War II. In a historic speech on July 16, 1995, Chirac became the first French president to officially acknowledge the responsibility of the French state in the deportation of Jews to Nazi death camps. The assassination of President William McKinley in 1901 marked a tragic moment in American history. On September 6, 1901, while McKinley was greeting visitors at the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York, he was shot by a disillusioned anarchist. Czolgosz had hidden a revolver inside a bundle of papers before shooting President McKinley at point-blank range. Czolgosz was sentenced to death and executed by electric chair less than 2 months after the assassination. Mount Rainier is a stunning mountain located in Washington State, United States, and is one of the most prominent and visually striking stratovolcanoes in the country. It rises to a height of 14,400 feet above sea level and is famous for its cap of glaciers that cover much of its surface. In the 1970s, the punk movement emerged as a radical and provocative counterculture that not only challenged established social norms, but also introduced a completely new and disruptive fashion. Bands such as the Sex Pistols, the Clash and Ramones, not only influenced punk fashion, but also defined its spirit of defiance and desire to change the status quo. The Brandenburg Gate is one of the most iconic monuments in Berlin that marked the entrance to the city of Berlin and symbolized peace. During the Cold War, the Brandenburg Gate was located in the eastern sector of Berlin, close to the Berlin Wall that divided the city. After the fall of the wall in 1989 and the subsequent German reunification in 1990, the Brandenburg Gate became a powerful symbol of national unity and reconciliation. Marrakesh, Morocco, known as the Red City for its ochre-colored buildings, is an iconic destination that attracts visitors from all over the world. Its vibrant heart is Jemaa El Fna Square, a bustling souk where snake charmers, musicians, spice sellers, and artisans converge. Hagia Sophia, located in Istanbul, Turkey, was originally built as a Christian church in 537 during the reign of Byzantine Emperor Justinian I. For nearly 1,000 years, it was the largest cathedral in the world and the spiritual center of the Byzantine Empire. In 1453, following the Ottoman conquest of Constantinople, Hagia Sophia was converted into a mosque by Sultan Mehmed II, where Christian mosaics were plastered over. And in 1935, under the rule of Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, founder of the modern Republic of Turkey, Hagia Sophia was secularized and turned into a museum. The Charles Bridge in the Czech Republic is famous for being adorned with a series of Baroque statues. Along the Charles Bridge are 30 statues and sculptural groups, mainly of saints and religious figures, such as the statues of St. John, of Nepomuk, St. Lutgard, and St. Vitus. Marina Bay Sands is a stunning resort in Singapore that integrates a luxury hotel, a renowned casino, a sprawling shopping mall, and an infinity pool offering unparalleled panoramic views of the city. Its innovative design includes 3 hotel towers connected at the top by a platform known as the Sky Park. This platform houses an edge-to-edge infinity pool, one of the tallest in the world. Tokyo is home to several artificial islands, including Odaiba, a popular entertainment area. Odaiba is known for its famous Diver City Tokyo Plaza shopping mall, home to the impressive life-size Gundam statue, which attracts anime fans from around the world. It is also home to Team Lab Borderless, an interactive digital art museum offering a unique immersive experience. During her tenure as First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama not only played a prominent role in the political and social scene, but also left a significant impact through several important initiatives. One of the most notable was Let's Move, a national campaign designed to address the growing concern about childhood obesity in the country. One of the most endearing scenes in Lady and the Tramp is the one where the 2 dogs share a spaghetti noodle. What many don't know is that this scene was filmed with a real dog named Lady, who was the inspiration for the main character. The decision to use a real dog instead of a full animation was a brave move on the part of the creators, as they sought to capture the authenticity and emotional connection between the characters. The animators studied the dog's behavior to ensure that its movements and expressions were as natural as possible. Built in 1945, the ENIAC is considered the first general-purpose electronic computer. This technological colossus took up an entire room and consumed as much energy as an average house, with over 17,000 vacuum tubes. It was designed to perform complex calculations for the United States military, especially in the field of artillery. In Titanic, directed by James Cameron, one of the most memorable items is the necklace worn by Rose, known as the Heart of the Ocean. This necklace is not simply an accessory, it is a real piece of jewelry inspired by the famous Heart of the Ocean that belonged to Louis XV. In 1971, the first known computer virus was created by Bob Thomas and was called Creeper. This program displayed an on-screen message saying, "I'm the Creeper, catch me if you can," and spread through the ARPANET, the precursor to the internet. The film The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick, is famous for its haunting atmosphere and memorable performances. One of the most iconic lines, "Here's Johnny," was improvised by Jack Nicholson during one of the most intense scenes. Not only did this line become a highlight of the film, but it was also a direct reference to the television show The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. The first mobile phone was created by Martin Cooper in 1973. This monumental device weighed around 2.2 pounds and had a battery that only lasted 20 minutes of talk time. Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg, is considered one of the great films in film history, especially for its innovative use of special effects. The dinosaurs in the film were created using a combination of animatronics, mechanical models, and computer-generated digital effects. This marked a turning point in how fantastic creatures could be depicted on screen. The first domain registered on the internet was symbolics.com, registered on March 15, 1985. This milestone marked the beginning of the era of web domains and the creation of a digital space where businesses and individuals could establish their presence. In The Little Mermaid, one of the most beloved characters is Ariel, whose voice was played by Jodie Benson. What's interesting is that Benson also voiced Barbie in several animated films. This versatile talent has allowed Benson to leave an indelible mark on both the world of film and popular culture. Moore's Law, formulated by Gordon Moore in 1965, predicts that the number of transistors on a microchip doubles roughly every 2 years. The famous scene where Neo dodges bullets in The Matrix is considered one of the most iconic moments in modern cinema. This sequence was filmed using special cameras that captured the action from multiple angles at the same time. This innovative approach made it possible to create a striking visual effect that has been imitated in numerous films since. Considered one of the first video games, Tennis for Two was created in 1958 by William Higginbotham. This simple game allowed players to simulate a tennis match on an oscilloscope. Zeus is the king of the gods in Greek mythology and is considered the ruler of Mount Olympus. The son of Cronus and Rhea, he had a rocky start as Cronus, fearing being overthrown, devoured each of his children at birth. However, Rhea managed to save Zeus by hiding him in a cave in Crete, allowing him to grow up and eventually free his siblings, which started a war between the gods and the Titans. The term Wi-Fi does not have a specific meaning. It is simply a trademark used to describe wireless networking technology. Although it is often confused with wireless fidelity, it is actually just a marketing term that has come to be synonymous with wireless connectivity. The first email was sent by Ray Tomlinson in 1971. The message was simply a set of random characters, but this act marked the beginning of a new era in digital communication. Hera is the goddess of marriage and family. She is often depicted as a jealous and vengeful figure due to Zeus' numerous infidelities, but she also symbolizes fidelity and commitment in marriage. She is the protector of married women and is associated with the cycle of family life. Poseidon, brother of Zeus, is the god of the sea, known for his trident, which symbolizes his dominion over the waters. As well as ruling the oceans, Poseidon is capable of causing earthquakes and storms, and his volatile temper makes him a feared figure. He is associated with horses, as he is said to have created them. Blockchain technology was introduced in 2008 by a person or group under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto as part of the Bitcoin protocol. Hades, brother of Zeus, rules the underworld, the realm of the dead. Although often associated with death and the macabre, Hades is not considered evil. He simply fulfills his duty of ruling over the deceased. His dwelling is guarded by Cerberus, the three-headed dog. 3D printers were invented in the 1980s. However, they did not become popular until the early 2000s. Athena, goddess of wisdom and just war, was born fully armed from the head of Zeus. Her unusual birth reflects her connection to intelligence and military strategy. The first operating system was GMNAAIO, created in 1956 for the IBM 704 computer. This pioneering software allowed users to interact with the computer and manage basic tasks. Launched in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook began as a social network exclusively for Harvard students. Artemis, twin sister of Apollo, is the goddess of hunting, wild animals, and nature. She represents an ideal of female independence and strength, rejecting marriage and choosing to live freely in the woods with her nymphs. The first digital camera was invented by Stephen Sasson in 1975 and weighed around 8 pounds. This pioneering camera captured images with a resolution of just 0.01 megapixels. The first video game console, the Magnavox Odyssey, was released in 1972 as the first home video game console. The first web browser was created by Tim Berners-Lee in 1990 and was called World Wide Web, later renamed Nexus. Bluetooth is a technology that enables wireless connections between nearby devices. Its name comes from the Danish king Harald Bluetooth Gormson, who unified Denmark and Norway in the 10th century. The first smartphone, the IBM Simon, is considered to be the world's first smartphone, launched in 1994. The first video uploaded to YouTube is titled Me at the Zoo and was uploaded on April 23, 2005 by one of the co-founders, Jawed Karim. The first laptop, the Osborne one, launched in 1981, is considered the world's first portable computer. It was so heavy that it had a handle and was considered portable. The first online social network was 6 Degrees, launched in 1997. It allowed users to create profiles and connect with friends. And that's all. What fact surprised you the most? Leave your opinion in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Zarpato content.